Hi everybody. Oh my god. Hi everybody. This is Armita and I'm from Developmental Psychology program. I didn't see some of you guys in person, but I'm looking forward to know you and working with you during this semester. Today I want to talk about Gray Oral Reading Test 5th edition or Gort 5. Before starting this presentation, first I just want to show you the agenda for that. Okay, today I want to talk about history, general purpose, relevant population, standardized procedure, order info, testing procedure, reliability and validity. At the end, we will talk about strengths and weaknesses. Gort 5 developed by Dr. William Gray. However, it was first published after his death in 1963 by Helen Robinson. The 5th edition of the test was published in 2012 by Pearson Psych Corp, and the main change from Gort 4 to Gort 5 was revising passage dependent items. I will talk about that part more, just stay tuned. About the general purpose of the test, it can identify students with oral reading difficulties, and it can evaluate a student's progress and find their strengths and weaknesses. It can also provide a standardized norm reference test for conducting research. The relevant population of the test is any students. It's appropriate for age, 6 to 23, 11 months. Keep in mind that Gort 5 should be administered individually by trained examiners like teachers or school psychologists. And no matter the examiner is professional or not, they have to pass the Gort 5 training if they are new to Gort 5. And the training time is starting from 3 to 6 hours. The test has been normed based on 2,556 students on 33 states, South, West, Northeast, and Midwest. It is representative of geographic region, gender, race, parents' income, and education. For a school age and post-secondary age, the average number of students in each group is around 142, and the range is starting from 58 to 237. In order to ensure a standard procedure and test validity, a specific administration needed. There are very specific direction about how the examiner should time the reading, how should stop the timer, and when the examiner should resume testing. About the order info, you can order it online via Pearson Assessment website. The price for a kit is $303. It includes examiner's manual, a student's book, and 2 counterbalance form, both Form A and Form B, all in a storage box. However, you can order it online again, but this time you can order it Form A or Form B, each for $65. Okay, here you can see Form A and you can see Form B. And here is the package. This is like a student book. This is like examiner's manual, Form A and Form B, and the box. About the testing procedure, it should be administered individually, ideally in a quiet place and in one session. However, the student might be uninterested or tired, so it can be also in 2 sessions. The time duration for the test is 15 to 45 minutes. And ideally it should be, I told that it should be in a quiet place. As I touched upon before, Gort 5 has 2 equivalent forms, and each form has 16 developmentally sequenced reading passages. The level of difficulty is increasing from earlier passages to the next. About the examiner's booklet, we have 16 reading passages, and each passage has 5 comprehension question. The comprehension question has some information about, yeah, I was totally wondering about my laptop. So yeah, now I feel better. So yeah, I was telling you about the question, sorry. So the five comprehension questions for each passages are about student information, time spent for reading, deviation from print, and reading behaviors like substitution, omission, and addition, prosody like volume, expression, phrasing, smoothness, and pacing. About the administration of the test, the first passage is based on the student's pre-knowledge in individual reading ability or entry point by grade level table. The grade level table is like available on examiner's manual. A student provided and directed to read the passage loud, carefully, and quickly. Examiner timed the reading and record deviation from print. Then examiner remove the passage and read the comprehension question and record the student's answer. Testing continues until the basal and ceiling have been reached. Um, so the basal and ceiling scores are based on fluency and comprehension level. I know you guys might be interested to know more about the scoring procedure. However, I should be mindful about the time. So if you are really interested, you can check these two short YouTube videos. They are really informative. So feel free to check them. About the reliability, the coefficient score is very high for all subgroups. It's like around 0.90, except for Indian American Eskimo and autism spectrum. The inter-scorer reliability is highest in grades 3 to 12. However, it varies depending what grades you are looking for. I actually read somewhere it was like, I guess, newspaper or something. It wasn't like that much peer-reviewed journal that I could like mention it here. Yeah, I read that the reliability is like lower for age 18 to 23, but I'm not sure about the source, so I didn't mention that here. In general, just keep in mind that the test has a high level of reliability. About the validity, Gort 5 addresses three types of validity: content description, criterion prediction, and construct identification validity. The range for validity is starting from 0.68 to 0.77. It's like valid for wide ranges of subject, normal, and with disability. It lacks evidence for response processes and consequences of testing. About the strengths of the test, it can help us to find a specific reading disability in children. It can help us to compare intra-individual reading skills, like comparing reading rate to comprehension. It can help us to evaluate a student's progress in reading. And I guess the best part is here, it can help us to have a percentile and a scaled score. It's like easy to communicate. I mean, I love talking about numbers. I mean, it's like easy to communicate with parents, with like policymakers. So I guess it makes more sense in that way. And another strength is we can conduct reading research based on this test. Before starting to talk about weaknesses of Gort 5, I just want to talk about some weaknesses in Gort 4 that actually Gort 5 addressed them. Yeah, some passages on Gort 4 were really easy and students could answer them without like reading the main passage. And also some passages were like harder. I mean, earlier passages were like harder than later passages, which actually it's like it doesn't make sense for me. I mean, a student's gonna be demotivated in that way. So that kind of problem was addressed in Gort 5. The other change from Gort 4 to Gort 5 is changing some multiple choice question to open-ended. Yeah, actually, you know that. I mean, open-ended question is like hard to interpret. So it can cause some kind of biases. Another weakness of Gort 5 is like timed reading and asking a student to read quickly as they can. It can cause some kind of negative effects. Um, there are no software for scoring the test, and yeah, I mean, examiner should score the test by hand, which is difficult, especially for large sample size. As I touched upon this part before, it lacks validity evidence related to response processes and consequences of testing. Here you can see some part of question for passage number 5. Yeah, it's actually hard to score. Yeah, you should check them one by one. Okay, conclusion of the test. Gort 5 is a comprehensive assessment of children oral reading skills, measuring 4 key areas: fluency, rate, accuracy, and comprehension. It has also sound psychometrics properties, and the result can help us to identify reading strengths and weaknesses. It will inform policymakers and administrators about the effect of intervention and provide valuable results for researchers. Okay, before saying goodbye, I just want to say that please check out this cool article by Edwards. I mean, they actually compared a Gray oral reading test, 5th edition, to Woodcock-Johnson test of achievement. As you know, both of them are reading tests, and I guess somebody is responsible for this week to talk about Woodcock-Johnson test. So yeah, this is like totally related to this week. Another thing is, if you have time, you can check this article out. It's about, I guess, reading ability, assessing reading ability of children treated for amblyopia. They actually use Gort 5 test for this article. Very good. I mean, it's like very shrewdly used in this article. So if you have time, just check them out. Here are the references for today's presentation. Thank you so much for listening to me. And if you have any kind of question, please post them out on the discussion board. And I hope you would have a great and productive week. No, not weekend, week. Okay, thank you.